Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about 5 ways to make your social media profiles a magnet for your ideal customer. So whether you're going through a brand relaunch or if you are just setting up your social media pages or they just need a little update, these are 5 tips that are going to help ensure that the right people are coming to your profile and the right people especially are staying on your profile and following you and are not only engaging with your content, which is always great, but are actually converting into customers. So these are my top 5 tips. First of all, you just want to have a really clear, high-res photo that's the same on all of your different platforms. You want it to be either a brand logo or something that represents your brand that you're known for that people could distinguish right away when they're searching you on social media. Or if you're a personal brand, you want a really nice clear photo of you and you don't want to be reusing a photo where you're cutting someone else out from the side of you. You want to have nice professional photos. And you want to make sure that these photos are large enough where when you're commenting on someone else's content, you know that tiny little thumbnail that pops up, you want to make sure that you can still clearly distinguish either what your logo is or what your profile photo is if it's a photo of you from that tiny thumbnail. If it passes that test, it should be clear enough to be your profile photo. Along those lines, you also want to have header photos that are optimized for all the different platforms. They make it a little difficult on you because they're all different sizes, but you do want to go the extra effort to resize them because it's going to make your pages look a lot more professional. And if you can, you want to name your pages the same exact username across all the different platforms if they're available. So this just makes the user experience so much easier when people are actually looking for your brand to follow you on social media. Tip number 2, you want to make sure that your visual branding and your photography resonates with your ideal audience. So they need to see themselves reflected back at them when they look at your content. And this is in terms of the colors that you're using, the fonts that you're using, the people that you're displaying on your social media pages. If you're showing customers, all of your ideal customers need to be able to see what resonates with them. So if you're working with an older audience, you're probably not going to have a really informal, conversational tone on your social media channels, and vice versa. If you're working with a really young audience, you're definitely not going to want to be very corporate and staticky on your pages. So you want to keep in mind what your ideal audience feels, what they look like, what vibes they like, and you want to reflect that back to them in your content. Tip number 3, you want to make sure that your bio is very crystal clear. And I want you to create something that I call a magnetic bio. And there are a couple different elements to this. So first, you want to explain who you are and anything unique about you. Second, you want to explain who you help, who your ideal audience is. Third, you want to explain how you help them. And then fourth, you can give them a optional call to action if you have a certain campaign going on or not. And the key here is it really is about them, because you can tell them as much as you want about you, but you have to put it in a way that makes sense where they're gonna benefit. And don't worry about turning some people off, because that's actually the whole point. So you want your ideal audience to stay and resonate and follow, whereas you want everyone else to say, okay, maybe that page isn't for me, and then keep going. And this is something that a lot of people miss because they just want as many followers as possible. But if you really, truly want an engaged audience that turns into customers, you have to make your profile customized to them. Tip number 4, you want to make sure that you're linking to an actual campaign that's going on. You don't want to link to just your plain homepage of your website if you can help it, because not many people are going to click on that. You want to give them a call to action to follow to learn more information about you. So for example, if you want to get more leads, you will link to a free resource where people sign up through their email. If you want to drive traffic to a certain new product launch or a certain new campaign, you want to leave that landing page for them to click on. So you always want to be driving them to something in particular, enticing them in some way to give them a reason to go to your website to learn more about you. And my last tip, tip number 5, is you want to be very authentic on your profile. So you want to share who you are, what your business is about, what you value, what the different aspects of your business are that distinguish you from competitors, because in real life, when you meet someone, you are not going to trust them right away. You're not going to let them babysit your kids or your dogs. You're not going to let them lend them money after just meeting them. It's the same thing online on social media with a business. So someone may follow you, but that's the very first step. You still have to get them to trust you and get them to know you. So the more you can tell them about who you are and what your values are and resonate with them, the more that they're going to build that trust, and they're going to likely convert into customers later on when you put the ask out. So I hope you've enjoyed these 5 tips for creating a social media profile that will magnetize your ideal audience to you. And if you're interested in learning more about this, I have a program called Social Media Marketing Made Easy. It's a 6-week program, and this is just one of the things we cover in one of the weeks is setting up your branding, setting up your goals, getting really crystal clear on your vision, and then integrating that into your profiles and in your content. So if you're interested in learning more about that, I will link that below. And if not, follow me for more videos, and I'll see you next time.